So, Mr. Paul Ong Teves, ng Pistolerong Pinoy, you are recognized.
Magandang umaga po, Mr. Chair, Honorable Congressmen, mga panauhin at mga resource persons. Una, nagpapasalamat po kami sa pagkakataon na ibinigay niyo po sa amin na nasa gun community na mapakinggan po ang boses ng mga responsible gun owners. Ako po si Mr. Paul Teves, mas kilala po sa online o social media, Pistolerong Pinoy. Magkagulo po rito, kami pong mga legal gun owners ay pwede pong maging force multipliers. Kaya po, paano po kami magiging force multipliers kung yung mga rifles po namin ay nakatambay lang po sa bahay o nagiging paperweight lang po, nakadisplay lang po nasa gun cabinet. Sana po mga sir, bigyan po ninyo kami ng pagkakataon na mailabas po namin ang aming mga rifles upang makapag-practice po kami. Huwag po kayo mag-alala, kami pong mga responsible gun owners ay dumaan po sa mga requirements po ninyo, neuropsych, test. Sumunod po kami sa lahat ng mga requirements, patakaran po ng kinauukulan upang makakuha po kami ng LTAP. Sana po it's about time na pagkatiwalaan niyo naman po ang mga responsible gun owners. Huwag niyo po kami pagdudahan o hindi po kami yung kalaban. Sabi nga po nila Ma'am Gina, pare-pareho po tayong galit sa mga loose firearm. Sila po yung nagko-cause ng crime, hindi po kami. At kung meron man po na meron po man mga responsible gun owners na gumawa ng crime, I think it's about less than 0.1% lang po yun, ayon po sa statistics. Muli po, nagpapasalamat po kami, mga legal gun owners na sa gun community sa pagkakataon na binigay po niyo sa amin.
Mr. Chair.
Okay, Congressman, are you done with your, are you done,
Apo.
Sige, Congressman Bosita, please.
Mr. Chair, gusto ko lang i-clarify kay Mr. Ong Teves. Ano po ang basis ninyo para sabihin ninyo lahat tayo may threat?
Kung nababalitaan naman po natin sa mga balita, sa mga newspapers, sa mga TV, may mga naho-hold up po, yung mga ganon, nabibiktima po ng crime.
So, Mr. Chair, is Mr. Ong saying na even ordinary employee dito may threat? Ganun po ba? Gusto ko lang malinawan po kasi medyo nakakatakot yung nyo po para sa mga ordinary individuals na lahat pala may threat.
Yeah, what I'm saying is meron po tayong potential na maging victim po ng mga crime, mga street crimes po.
So insisting po kayo na lahat may threat? Lahat? Ibig sabihin pong lahat 100% ng Pilipino may threat? Yun po ba gusto niyo sabihin, Mr. Teves?
Pwede po yun. Opo.
Hindi po yung pwede. Ang gusto ko pong i-clarify sa'yo, pag sinabi po ninyong lahat, 100%, kahit yung mga bata na inosente.
Ay, hindi naman po. Hindi naman po.
So,
I stand corrected po, Your Honor.
paki-correct po ninyo kasi hindi po tama yon na parang sobrang gulo na sa
Ay,
Pilipinas.
hindi naman po. Hindi po yung ibig kong sabihin, Your Honor.
Pwede po ba, Mr. Chen, na ma-strike out yung kanya statement
yes
na
po.
lahat may threat?
Right, so there's a motion to strike out that
Thank you po, Congressman
portion of your
Busita. Thank you po.
position.
Mr. Chair,
Yes, Congressman ACOP, please.
point of order. I think the resource person is willing to withdraw from his former statement. So there's no need for us to come up with a motion to strike out the statement.
Opo. I stand corrected po. Sorry po.
Okay, so we'll be striking that out. The COMSEC is hereby directed to strike that portion of his statement. Are you satisfied, Congressman Busita? Please.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Kinawag ko lang, Mr. Chair, kasi yung ating pong mga kababayan, medyo naalarma pagka may mga information na hindi naman tama. Ang dami na nga fake news, dadagdagan pa natin. Maraming salamat po, Mr.
I
Chair.
agree with that. Ano, we have to be careful with our statement. No?
Sorry po, Your Honor.
Yeah, no, we understand. But especially now that yung social media ay napaka bumilis pumikap ng mga statements that are being delivered on every committee on the House of Representatives. So let us be careful. All right. So we'll be proceeding to the next resource person, yung advocate for better gun rights, si Attorney Brian. Go. Brian, go.
Good morning.
Yes, sir. You are recognized, please.
Thank you, the Honorable Chairperson. First of all, I would like to thank this Honorable Committee for inviting us all here. And we're gathered here today to take time out of their days to conduct a committee hearing. To reiterate some of the sentiments of the fellow resource persons, we would like to express support to the bill submitted by the Honorable Chairperson, and also I also would like to reiterate some of the reservations presented with House Bill 9718, specifically as mentioned by Attorney Rodriguez regarding the limitations of the number of the firearms, as well as the limitation on the amount of ammunition. I'm also a sport shooter with arms score, and actually if we were to limit the 50 rounds to an individual, that's usually just one long course of fire, so it's not really enough. I understand that I also was able to submit a position paper to this honorable committee, to which I attached my Juris Doctor thesis, which with the help of the PNP, recognizing the presence of Police Lieutenant Colonel Tadeo, the Chief Legal Officer of the
Chavez versus Romulo, sir.
When was that promulgated?
2009, sir.
2009. Okay. Would you agree with that, attorney? Doon sa huli.
Yeah, Congressman Ako, can I be allowed to speak? Attorney Lacambra, Your Honor.
Okay, you are recognized, Attorney
We need
Lacambra.
to distinguish between the two basic rights. Since it's now allowed by the law, it's
Ano po
now
ang allowed
considered
by law?
for the RA
Let's be clear
10591,
about it,
Your
kasi
Honor.
very specific yung tanong ko.
Yes, Your Honor.
Ownership of a gun.
It
Is
is
it a
a-
right or privilege?
We need to distinguish, Your Honor. Since it's now allowed by law,
What do you
it
need
is
to
a
distinguish sa ownership of a gun?
it's now a statutory right, Your Honor.
Ownership
Because-
of a gun?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ano
Statutory
po ang
right.
provision?
The state policy of the RA 10591 itself states, Your Honor, granting the private citizen to the right to own a licensed firearm, Your Honor.
You
It's a
please read the
statutory
provision
right.
of law na specifies ownership of a gun,
Yes, Your Honor.
the right to own a gun or right to self-defense ang sinasabi.
My partner will answer it, Your Honor.
So we have the copy of Republic Act 10591. What particular section of Republic Act 10591 are you pertaining with? Kasi yun ang tanong ni Congressman Ako.
Yes, Your Honor.
Sige, state it, please.
Article on registration and licensing,
Article what?
Section 8, anong article?
Mm-mm.
Article 3, Your Honor. Article 3 of RA 10591, Section 9. It says there, subject to the requirements set forth in this act and payment of required fees, a qualified individual may be issued the appropriate license under the following categories.
May be issued.
Yes,
May be issued.
yes.
In other words, it is subject to regulations.
Well,
Would you agree with me?
yes, Your Honor. Of course. That's 10591.
I would
I think we are getting confused between
I would
I think we are getting confused between
I'm not confused, attorney.
No, the
I'm the one asking questions here.
okay.
I'm not confused.
Okay.
I would like to read also a decision of the Supreme Court
I'm familiar
entitled
with that, Your
Acosta versus Ochoa, date, GR number 2111559, October 15, 2019. The gist of that decision is that use of firearms is a privilege, not a right. There is no constitutional right to bear arms. Neither is the ownership or possession of a firearm a property right.
We agree, Your Honor. I'm
Eh, wala na tayong pagdebatihan kung nag-agree ka, attorney.
Hindi.
Di ba?
I think we
Ikaw
have
naman.
to
So,
Ikaw
attorney-
naman eh,
So, attorney
gusto mo pa
Gutierrez.
lumusot eh. Huwag kang
clarify
lumusot.
the privilege and statutory right. It's practically almost the same and synonymous.
Walang nagsasabi directly na statutory right to own a firearm. No. I would beg to disagree with you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Alright.
Huwag ka na lumusot,
So,
attorney.
ang pinag-uusapan
Kasi,
po,
bago ako pumunta rito, nag-research na ako. Kayo, hindi nyo pa nga siguro nababasa yung mga ito eh.
We are very familiar with that, Your Honor.
Come on, attorney. Don't tell me that crap. Itong tanda kong ito, marami na ako nakasalamuhang kagaya mo. Itong palusot.
Thank you, Your Honor.
okay. Alright.
Now, there's another
go ahead,
question.
go ahead, Congressman ACOP.
General principle, Mr. Chair, regarding this issue. Now, dito ngayon, pag-uusapan natin, which is more important, accessibility or safety? Matanong ko pa nga kayo, ano po ang mas importante? Kasi, if I read the provisions of the bills, ginagawa, mas gusto natin na mas accessible ang firearms at saka ammunitions. Now, which is more paramount? Accessibility to firearms or safety of the people?
Okay, resource persons who wanted to answer.
Mr. Chair, if I may,
DND, please, answer.
under the Constitution, Mr. Chair, under the General Welfare Clause, is the safety that's more paramount, Mr. Chair. Thank you.
What's your reply, please?
Under the General Welfare Clause of the Constitution, it is the safety which is more paramount,
paramount.
than accessibility,
Yes,
Mr. Chair.
paramount consideration is the safety. Okay. PNP, again. PNP.
The populace, that comes first.
Okay. Mika, you want to answer?
Just like with the position of the PNP, sir, safety.
So, the ILG, same position?
Yes, sir. Safety of the people,
And also
sir.
the national crime?
Yes,
Mr. Same?
Chair. Same.
All right. The manufacturers and the dealers associations, you want to answer on the query of Congressman ACOP?
Predict each other that there could be a picking of certain provisions which may be both beneficial to both the safety of the general welfare of the public as well as also making it accessible to some licensed individuals, because as we know, and as also pointed out by the Representative ACOP, and correctly so, that the ownership of firearms, it is actually a privilege. We just have to distinguish that there is a difference between the property itself, which is a right to property, and being licensed to own, which is why we're here all today to request the kind indulgence of this committee, because we understand that the firearm ownership is regulated by laws, which is why we are here today. Having said that, we also submit that there is a possibility of promoting both accessibility and also the public safety, which is why we have to look into both jurisprudence, as also cited by the committee members here today, as well as relevant statistics, whether both local or international, to see trends, if there is any merit to promoting one sort of restriction over the other. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other resource persons who wanted to answer back? Mr. Rico? Mr. Rico?
Yes, thank you for
Go ahead.
recognizing this input, Honorable Fernandez. So, for our feedback, and this comes from our experience of owning firearms for many years now. Of course, we all want safety, and our firearms laws here in the Philippines at present are actually doing a very good job at keeping the public safe. However, I believe that there is somewhat of a false dichotomy here between having to choose between safety and accessibility, because the reality here is that we can have both. We can have both. We can have very safe firearms laws and at the same time improve the efficiency to help lawful gun owners. And the reason why this is important is because the more we restrict firearms ownership, the more loose firearms proliferate. it is very easy for criminals to acquire firearms illegally. And if we make it very difficult for people to own firearms, it will only mean that criminals will have a bigger disadvantage over us, and the more likely that firearms being sold in the black market will proliferate, because legal firearms are very difficult to acquire. So I think that we can accomplish both by working together. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Actually, mag-to 12 na, and we have another schedule. And probably, if Chairman ACOP is already done. You're not yet done. Sige, go ahead.
I might be a member of the technical working group. Gusto kong malaman na kung ano kaisipan nila eh.
Alright.
Bago kuhan.
So you want to this other resource person to answer as well?
Sinasabi po nila, the right to own a firearm is associated with the right to self-defense. Ganon yung mga statement na naririnig ko po sa inyo. Di po ba? Would you agree with that?
Who wants to answer? From the...
Kayo gusto nyo magkaroon ng firearms for self-defense. Di po ba? Yun naman ang katotohanan eh. Bakit po di natin aminin? Sige nga. Eh bakit kayo tahimik ngayon?
Advocates. Attorney, go ahead.
If I may, yes, Representative ACOP, that is mentioned in Section 2 of 10591, sir.
If you read Section 2 of RA 10591, Declaration of State Policy, the state recognizes that the right to self-defense is provided as a justifying circumstance under the revised penal code. However, this right to self-defense, it is to be done through the use of firearms, is granted only to qualified, underscored, qualified citizens. And therefore, there's a need for regulation. Would you agree with that also?
Attorney, go ahead.
Yes, Representative ACOP, yes, there's a need for regulation, which is why we are here today to propose what possible means of regulation may be, because even if it were a loosening or restricting, either or would still be regulation.
And assuming for the sake of argument that the right to possess firearms was considered a property right, it is doctrine also that property rights are always subject to the state police power. Would you agree with that also?
Yes, your Representative.
And therefore, regulations have to be made.
Yes, as long as it is reasonable, Your Honor, and following the proper standards of the strict scrutiny test, intermediate scrutiny test, or rational basis, as the case may be, sir.
Now, this question would be addressed to the public and the private resource persons. Why should one have 20 firearms if the purpose is for self-protection or self-defense?
Dito muna sa mga gun advocates. Dito muna tayo. Left side. Anybody can answer. Again.
Your Honor, while we understand that the license to own and possess a firearm is a privilege premised on one's inherent right to self-defense, it is also understandable that it being property, if a person is already licensed and qualified to own a firearm, they may own multiple firearms as they may wish, and as long as the regulatory agencies would see it and deem fit that they can own it. And by the current status of legislation, it would depend on the specific type of firearm if they are allowed to own 2, 5, 10, 15, or more, Your Honor.
Okay, sa side ng ating mga government agencies, you want to reply on that? O, sino? Sino po?
Yung pulis dapat sumagot eh.
DND, PNP,
Bakit
siguro.
yung pinapayagan? Kasi, sa tingin ko, mas marami kayong earnings na nakukuha. Kasi mas maraming napapalisensya na firearms eh. I think that's the only logical reason that I can see. Why would an individual, single individual, need 20 firearms? If he's not a shall we say, anong tawag na natin po doon, yung collector of firearms. Sige nga,
Geraldine,
justify.
Mr. Chair, we have gun owners or shooters who likes to compete in every category. Merong pistol, merong revolver, meron din pong rifle. But meron din pong shotgun. Pero meron din po talaga, sir, napansin kami na nangongolekta lang po ng mga various calibers ng firearm.
Under the law, meron kayong category ng mga firearms collector eh. Di ba? But you are not answering my question. What is the logic behind an individual owning 20 firearms if he is not a firearms collector?
in other words, bakit nyo pinapayagan? Kung hindi naman po sila, aside from being a guns collector, di ba? So, bakit natin pinapayagan?
Before,
Sige.
nung nasa serbisyo pa ako, one long and one short lang ang allowed eh. Would you agree with me also?
Yes, sir.
Yes. One long, one short lang allowed. Nabago na ng mga batas. Now, give me the logic why an individual person would be allowed to possess 15, 20 firearms. Bakit? And why would a person need 50 rounds of ammunition, more than 50 rounds of ammunition? Except for those firearm, shall we say, involved in sports.
Okay, Mr. Topacio, go ahead.
Mr. Congressman, I can cite an example on why a person would need more than 15 guns. So,
More than 20.
yes. So before, if we talk about 15 to 20 years ago, ang uso lang po is a 1911 and a rifle. But now with technology, if you notice, if you go to the gun show po, Mr. Chair, may I remind you, we're all for safety. When we put up gun shows, most of our seminars is about gun safety. We prioritize safety. Most shooters prioritize safety before they even shoot. That's the first thing you are taught. So, with regards to a person owning 20 guns, it's different for every scenario. For example, I'm a sport shooter. If I get into a category, let's say for example, pistol caliber carbine, when I compete, I don't buy one gun. I buy two. So dalawa na kagad yun. I also buy, for every category that I compete with, I need two guns, especially if I'm serious, if I want to compete. Because pag nasira ang isa, I have no time to repair or replace. And another po, with regards naman po to self-defense, dati po lahat full-size pistol. Now we have a full-size, you have a subcompact, you have a compact, you have a micro pistol. So you have 4 different sizes already for pistols. And as time goes by, every now and then, a person would buy a new gun because masyado na malaki yung baril ko. I used to carry a full size, but as I am getting older, I would want something more compact. Dati, all steel ang baril ko. Now, I want a polymer pistol. So that's one of the reasons why people have more than 15 or 20 guns. Because there are times that I have to buy 2 guns for competition, and at the same time, if I have a permit to carry, I have the option now because I bought a compact, a subcompact, or a micro pistol, or a full-size pistol. So that's probably, Your Honor, kung one of the reasons why people need 15 or 20 guns. They can be competing. There's new technology. There are even pistols right now that are foldable. I don't want to carry a pistol in my bag kasi sumasabit siya. So there's a foldable Glock pistol now that's available in the market. And there's a smaller revolver that's smaller than a micro pistol. So every person who are qualified to purchase a firearm, every person who has an LTOP has the option to buy these guns. And as long as they can pay, as long as they can register their firearms, as long as they comply with all the legal requirements that 10591 and the PNP set, as long as they are able to renew their firearms every time, there's nothing wrong with that. Kasi at the end of the day po, Mr. Chair, from our perspective po, we'd prefer po kasi na okay na marami ka, basta rinirehistro mo, basta rini-renew mo. As long as we have the data kung nasaan yung mga barrel mo, we're fine with that. Kasi, believe it or not, Mr. Chair, we are one of the most strict when it comes to issuing licenses.
Doon po tayo magdidebate na, Mr. Topacio. Yeah. And I will stand at the plenary to object to that if these bills will pass the committee level. I wouldn't agree na dapat kung po pwede magkaroon ka ng 20 na firearms. Gusto ko na bumalik sa dati.
That's why, Mr. Chair, if I may po, no, during my statement kanina, it's important to take note that 10591 is primarily for the legal gun owners. Kasi if we assume that all legal gun owners with RA 10591, those who have more than 20 guns, kung i-assume natin na all those people are may masamang balak, even we could even ask the president to.
I'm not assuming anything. Don't put words into my mouth. I did not assume
That's why,
anything.
Mr. Your Honor, if I may po, that's why po I emphasize that we separate those legal gun owners who conform to RA 10591 and those illegal gun owners or illegal manufacturers, illegally possessed firearms, should be separate. Because what we want, why we support these amendments is because aside from the industry that it supports and the economic impact that it has, it also alleviates the problems that gun owners have been experiencing for the past how many years? Because this bill was passed 2014, and we have had IRRs that have overreached already, and that's why we're correcting it now, and that's why we support po yung amendments po.
Could you please give me an example where an IRR provision has overreached?
So, a perfect example, Your Honor, in your law, RA 10591, I'll give you an example po na ngayon po. It's sort of an issue sa industry. We have a provision in RA 10591 that allows every gun owner to own 7.62 by 39 and below. As of now, only 223s are being licensed. 7.62s haven't been allowed for the longest time because there was a restriction set by the previous administration na bawal nga po ang mga calibers na to. But in your law, it is stipulated that it is allowed. But in your IRR, I think pinagbawalan na po siya. But I think, Your Honor, 223s pinapayagan na po ngayon, but the rest of the calibers until now hindi pa rin po.
PNP, would that be true?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
May know the basis of the PNP. Why you are not following the law?
The regulatory function of the PNP, sir.
Can a regulatory function or provision of the PNP rise over and above the law? Following your logic, it's a provision of law according to Mr. Topacio, and you agreed to it. Why are you not following the law?
But, sir, going back to the provision on licensing firearm, that this may be licensed to qualified individual, sir. And at times, sir, yun nga po.
If Colonel Dilang, if it is expressly provided by law and your IRR doesn't say so, it says otherwise, I think that's ultra vires. And the good lawyers would agree with me. Di ba?
Yes, sir.
Bakit hindi nyo sundin yung batas? Are you trying to tell us that you are defying the intent of the framers of that law? Ano sinabi ni Mr. Topacio?
We'll look into it, sir.
Wala na, Mr. Chair. Marami pong salamat sa opportunity.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And that's the reason why we wanted to have a technical working group medyo masyadong masalimotong istorya ang ating pinapasok. But of course, we have seen the different positions of the different government and private sector. And this representation believes that we need to create a technical working group on this purpose. So I need to have a
Mr. Chair.
motion.
Mr. Chair.
Congressman Bosita, please.
Mr. Chair, after our lengthy discussions, no, parang isa lang nakita ko na the best na i-handle itong technical working group.
Yes.
Mr. Chair, may I move to create a technical working group for these measures?
So there is a motion to create a technical working group. Any second the motion?
Second, Mr.
Is
Chair.
duly seconded. So the motion is now second.
To be
Who's
headed-
gonna head of the technical working group?
To be
Yes, sir.
headed by Honorable Vice Chairman, Attorney General Representative
So,
Romeo
wait,
Macosi
there's a
Apo.
motion, but we need to find out the availability of Chairman ACOP if he will going to accept the chairmanship of the technical working group or not. So, Congressman ACOP,
I
please
do not
reply.
know if the Honorable Busita is mad at me. Simply because it's giving me more work.
And there's a lot of balancing that the good chairman have to do on this issue, no, on the three house bills that we're going to discuss. But I think it is imperative for the chairman of transportation to be a part, no, of this technical working group as a chairman. So I believe so that we need a man like Chairman ACOP to head the technical working group. And naniniwala naman ako na magiging fair, no, si Chairman ACOP. So there's a motion that Chairman ACOP be the head of the technical working group that was created by this committee. Any second the motion?
Second, Mr.
This was duly seconded. Any objection? Hearing none, the said motion is now approved. All right. So the members of the technical working group will be Senator Bosita, you will be a member as well. Congressman Plato, Congressman Arrogancia, Congressman Dagoc will be a part of it as well. And also Congressman Tebes, who attended this hearing, and eventually pag nagdi-discuss na po kayo, meron na kayong knowledge about it. So no objection. So the members that was mentioned by this chair will be a part of the technical working group. All right. So since we have already created the technical working group, all those position papers that we were asking a while ago must be submitted to us in a week's time. So sana po mapadala niyo na po agad, considering the importance of these bills. Okay, so other matters that the body wishes to discuss. Wala na po ba ibang bagay na i-discuss po tayo? So there being no other matter to discuss, do I hear the favorite motion? Motion?
Mr. Chair, I move for the suspension.
No, adjourn.
Adjournment.
So do I hear a motion to adjourn?
Second. Adjourn, Mr. Chair.
So there's a motion by Congressman Plato to adjourn this hearing. Any second motion? Duly seconded. Okay, Congressman Arrogancia, please. May ano? Second motion. Okay, kala ko nag-object ka eh. So, second motion, so no objection. This committee hearing is now adjourned. Thank you so much, everybody.